I see here a display proxy and not for gameplay. Can you explain more about that?
Well, essentially, all alpha prototype prints are going to be a display proxy and not legal for gameplay.
Mhm.
This is an early print where I was trying to remove the borders. That way, you would have more art on the card and it'd be easier to read the text. As you earlier said, that reading the text was an issue for you, which was also something earlier on I was looking at because this artwork was done before the rest of the Sandex artwork was done, which still isn't always all the way completed.
Mhm.
I can here I've got some cards in my hand. I can show you the difference between some. Um, I do not have a prototype in my hand at the moment, but right here, this would be a final print card.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And then this is another card which I believe we'll end up getting to, which is a concept card. Concept is a type of final print card that shows a concept that I originally drew up. This one specifically being a hand rising out of the earth and reaching for an orb that says dark,
Mm.
which is kind of hard to see right here. This one being one of the 18 hollows I printed, smokes.
Oh, that's a holo. Nice. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't like the NPC. I believe it was NPC. It was one of the printers from China.
Yeah.
I am making playing cards or something like that. I did not like their print runs. It did not satiate me, to say
So
the least.
you're looking for another printer, you mean?
I was looking initially for a better printer for the cheap runs for final prints because final prints and prototype prints, those are what I use to game test. But game test and then also gain some collectability for collectors on the final print end because as the final print is right now, it's limited by 72 cards per print, even though it was less earlier on.
Mm-hmm.
So collectors have something so I could attempt to, in the future, separate the collector base from the playing base.
Uh, okay. So this is the story about behind this, and it says here, dwelling in the ruins of an ancient city, this creature, uh, of blood is formed from the massacre of thousands of unarmed women and children. So basically,
Yes.
like, yeah. All right.
Well, essentially, whenever it's like in olden days, the
Mm-hmm.
men fight, they defend the city. When they go off the war, all the women and children are left there. And then at times, some armies get smart and they circumvent that army that is going to attack. They sneak into the city and they kill everybody and burn everything to the ground.
Oh, so this
That
is
is
what
essentially,
forms.
yes,
Okay.
that's what
So
formed that.
yeah, it's a blood deck, but actually this is different because it's not including included in
Yes,
the gameplay, right? So gotta put it
it's not
there.
even part of the sand deck. So,
Yeah. So and then here is consumed
yes,
slime. Yeah, there. So
that
this
is a
artwork
wolf.
is pertaining to the slime, not the creature, right? It's just the slime here.
Both actually.
Oh, both? Okay.
Because the slime, remember I mentioned the slime is unique. It is its own creature.
Mm-hmm.
So the slime itself, it can take control of a different creature. It can kill it, and then it can take the form of that creature, similar to
Oh,
the thing, but not as robust as the thing.
yeah.
So it can take the form of the creature, where right here it's attacked the wolf, but for some reason the slime is already tainted by the specter. So now it's the specter controlling the slime to turn into something, which is even more dangerous than just the slime itself.
Correct. So that's why it's oh, it's 1,000 and 1,200. Yeah.
Yes, and then it has a secondary stats for the blood realm.
Yeah,
It's
correct.
a At the moment it's more of your mid base tier blood deck creature.
Yeah,
far
and
as blood
it's a
realm goes.
strong attack in the blood realm, you know, it's 200.
Oh yes.
Yeah, okay.
And if you notice the levels on the blood creatures, as far as they correspond on blood creatures to their stats, like
Hmm.
the main stats on the blood creatures almost always end up outranking the normal creatures that do not go in the blood realm. That way, if for some reason you get them to the main field, they are stronger than normal. And it is a rare chance that you can take advantage of having a new strong creature.
And I can see here that you put in the artwork itself is the attack and defense. From
That was
I
the
assume
artisan volition.
1000 and 1200, I think, right?
Yes. That was the
Okay.
artisan volition, and I
Hmm.
love the ideas they come up with. That was just one of them, though.
Yeah, nice. Okay, it's a blood deck. I no slime. Blood is blood. Can we consider that a
Yeah, that's
blood?
a slime. That's a slime variant.
Okay,
Slime
but
deck
it's
variant. Every deck has the blood creature.
uh-huh.
Akabish is a slime deck variant as well. Akabish means spider, and it's essentially a spider that was taken over by a slime.
Oh yeah, the eyes, two eyes, but there's a third one. So spiders, you mean?
Yes, it's a spider.
Okay.
And essentially, the slime creature, if you look at the first slime deck and you look at organ donor, the heart is in its chest. And the variant you
Mm-hmm.
have it in its hand, but it ends up going inside the body and it can use those organs as it wishes, or if it just wishes to collect them.
You mean which card was that? You said
It was in the
ah,
slime deck, the
orange
first
donor. You
one.
mean?
Yes, and that one you see it's in his hand. But if you go to the slime deck that you first reviewed,
Uh-huh.
then you'll see that the heart is inside its chest and it has a weapon in its hand. So it collects these things and it uses them as tools for its own benefit. Similar to me or you, if we're stuck alone in a forest, we're going to find a stick or something to defend ourselves with.
Yeah. So you mean this one, right? The with the weapon?
Yes,
Hmm.
I believe
Okay.
that's the same weapon that organ donor was carrying. I'm not positive.
Okay. So the slime. Then we have this one. I really love the artwork of this one.
Yes.
Guard of Ga. Guard of Ga.
Ga is a specific character. If you look on its shoulder plate, on its armor, you'll see the character specifically. It's a rope that is intertwined with itself on its shoulder, right
Mm-hmm.
here. And it is a rope that is intertwined that stands for chaos and destruction,
Mm-hmm.
which can be good and it can be bad. So I have characters that use the character of Ga for good, and I have characters that use it for bad. You could use the real life example of Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
He used the swastika, which was originally a symbol used for peace and harmony, and he used it for chaos and destruction. So that character, in a different sense, is always going to represent destruction and confusion. But the difference with it in between is going to be if it's good or if it's bad or if it's in between.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have some characters rotating on that. So normally if it's the towards the worst area, I will have more holes in the rope. So the rope will get longer and you'll have three or more holes the worse they are. Which you have the Knights of Death, which they have the character of Ga, which has a rope with three different holes intertwined, and that is their emblem to represent them. And that'll differentiate this character from the Knights of Death.
Oh, okay. So this is a warrior deck.
Mm-hmm.
We have a warrior. Well, this one, but it's blood. So it's another deck, right?
Yes, that was in the fire deck, if I remember right, which would be the
This
demise of
is
Anahak.
This is what I'm confused. How do we know that it's a fire deck?
It's
If
not a
it's
fire type.
this is an earth, right?
Yes. Demise of Anahak revolved around fire types, but not all of them were fire types.
So
So
this,
it's giving you a flavor of fire types while inserting a few other creatures in there.
yeah. So which deck does this belong?
It would belong with warrior creatures, but it's in the
Okay.
minds of Anahak because it is warrior support, which you have warrior creatures in Demise of Anahak.
Mm-hmm. And
It's
Demise
more
of
of a
Anahak is a
situation
fire,
deck.
right? Demise of Anahak is a fire deck, right? And fire
Yes, it's essentially a
attribute.
fire deck, and it revolves around warriors and fire, but it has a few
Uh-huh.
different unique characters and
Oh,
pieces.
all right. And this one is monkey business.
Yes.
Seems like a meme card or it's a zero
Do
zero zero. Oh yeah, slime.
you remember the other monkey business?
I can't remember. There's
It had the
what was
monkey
that?
swinging the other one has a monkey swinging on a
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember the tree. Yeah.
yes. See if I
So
have it
so
right
this
here.
is the alternate art or the alpha one, the monkey hanging,
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I don't
and
have
this
it.
is the one for printing, correct?
That is the variant card, yes.
Uh-huh.
So that
So
will be in the token set when it ends up releasing,
uh-huh.
which is what I'm going to end up trying to plan with you and a few different people as far as promotion and then getting everything looking properly.
Yep.
So the variant cards would end up because that is not touched by the tech. That was me working on it digitally on my computer, taking the time to cut everything out into the picture. So when the
Hmm.
tech gets to it, hopefully it'll look better and more quaint.
Yeah, I like the one that it's popping out from the artwork bounder a border,
As do
so
I.
it's popping out there.
That is something that they don't do in a lot of TCGs that have borders. They'd
Yeah,
usually,
I think that's difficult, you need
yeah,
to edit it more.
of course. But when you're paying flat rate for each card's artwork to be designed, it's just the same exact payment. So I don't know if other companies just, I mean, think of it this way. You make art that is this big, the card is this big, you can only fit so much artwork in.
Yeah,
So
correct.
most of the time, they're going to go with the artwork that just fits the design, which is what happened with the 30 panel. Is
Mm-hmm.
you had artworks that just fit the design, and they were literally made to this size.
Oh,
I mean, literally that
but
size of a
that's
card.
difficult to put in details, if you
Yeah,
draw a very small one. What's the size of your artwork?
it depends on the artwork. The token set, it's all about this size, just about
Nine, 6
just
by,
about this size.
probably 6 by 4.
6x4, six by
Probably.
five,
Yeah.
something like that.
Oh, okay. So that's monkey
But
business and it's a slime. When the
But yeah,
yeah,
other ones like right here you see if I can
snake or
yeah,
cobra?
Sarah. It's a flying snake, Sarah.
Oh yeah, it's cobra, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have certain snakes in Egypt which back when they had a lot of trees, they had forests growing. These snakes would climb in the trees and they'd sling tree to tree. So they called them seraph, which is
Saraf.
different from a seraph. Well, seraph biblically is an angel like Anak. But a seraph, like a seraph compared to a seraph is a snake, a certain
Mm-hmm.
species of snake, which jumps from tree to tree. It's like it's flying. So
Uh-huh.
it's like a description of it.
So this one is slime.
But yeah, the what I was getting to with that design is that the artwork uh, very big.
Wow.
So
Who made that?
Bearded Artist Studios.
Nice.
That's what they go by, at least. But he's a damn good artist.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get more down so we could work on more.
And that's an acrylic, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Eventually, I'd love to work with some oil artists.
Yeah.
I got some other ones in line, but this one is going on the same idea that just like a plant seeps up water, this one seeped up blood that was tainted. So
It's
now the
corrupted.
tape, yes, is corrupted, and now you may be walking in the forest. It may eat you.
It's a plant, but it's a dangerous plant.
Of course.
So, oh, it's like bark of the tree and it opened up, right?
Yes, it is a
Ah,
tree.
yeah, it's a tree. So it's a plant. So there will be a plant deck, right?
Yes, I will end up
Okay.
getting plants into the game more. The first deck is the first set is going to be around 500 plus cards,
Mhm.
but it's not going to be exactly even on what is represented to what. So you'll have different oddities. Some things will
Yeah.
be more represented than others, but it'll go how it goes.
Okay. So now we have plant, chicken, slime. This one is demon, warrior deck,
Yes,
and sand. Ah, no, this one is just the alpha.
that's
All right.
variant.
So now we have a laughing hyena. So
Yeah.
this one I have the card of alpha here. Uh, you sent me before. It's in the deck, right?
Hmm.
And this one is different artwork.
Yes. The
Yep.
one you have, it, if you look at the non-alternate art, the original art, you'll see a bunny sitting in the hyena's mouth, and the hyena walking away happily. It's caught its
Mm-hmm.
meal and it's about to eat. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think that it's blood dripping from the bunny. It's not. That is slime. So this picture is just moments after the first artwork's depiction, and it's showing the slime taking over and killing this hyena and taking his body as a captive.
Oh, so this you mean this one is after it it killed the rabbit? The what was
The
that? The
quote
bunny.
unquote rabbit, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what that means the rabbit has or the bunny has already the slime in his body, right?
It
And
was a
then
slime. The bunny was dead long time ago.
oh, okay. All right. So and then he catch it and then now the slime eat the beast. So this
Yep.
is a beast, it says here. So is this another deck or is a slime deck?
It's a different type of attribute. It's
Okay.
still it's not a slime yet. It's in the middle of being consumed.
It's a
If it was
different
a
deck then.
slime, then it would say slime.
It's a different deck, right?
It's in the slime deck, yes, but it's a beast, if that
Oh,
makes any sense.
okay. So
The lore itself contributes to the slime deck. It was a variant card in the slime deck because Lady Duchess will have her own artwork depicting that card itself.
okay. All right. So this Albatross. Oh,
Mhm.
I have a different artwork of this one with alpha.
Yes.
Yeah, so Albatross is this is a slime. So yeah, I think it's
Yes.
pretty straightforward. The
There
slime,
is a
the slime
character.
eat the albatross, and then this is how it
Yeah,
looks like, right?
that's
So yeah,
usually the way it is, straightforward with the slimes.
yeah.
Then Albatross ends up following a certain character and causing some detriment, but
Mm-hmm. And this one is slime's emergence. Oh, I didn't.
oh, that was the one with the blade.
Sorry, what was that?
That was the one with the blade. In
Oh
Doom, you
yeah,
could see
there.
the blade.
Correct.
Yes. That is a three-pronged blade, which is a Chinese blade, if I by inspiration, if I
Yeah,
remember right.
this one right here.
Yes. Which I believe it was a Chinese inspired blade because it's a blade that they would use for assassinations. It's one blade, but then you hit a button and it pops out to try to block an attack
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
or
So
to cause
it's
more damage once you stab.
mm-hmm. It's an you can attack it, and also you can defend using that
Mhm.
same um armor, the weapon. And this one is this one is a microwave, right?
It's an oven.
Oh, what happened here?
Um, a minge is
There's
a
more, right?
it probably will not. It's very unlikely. Minge is a word that will get blocked on YouTube. Um,
Oh, really? Why?
it's how you describes a woman's,
Ah, okay.
So it's
Taken
a
from
in
the
England it's a
what
curse word.
language?
English,
Oh, okay.
England, like UK. It's a word they use. It's very vulgar. So it's
Oh,
secret minge. It's pointing towards the stomach essentially. So it's an oven, and the creature is baking in the oven, kind of like a baby.
yeah.
Irony. So essentially, they walked into there. They were in their shop and they were cooking food for the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
This demonic creature went in. They were fighting it off, and they ended up throwing it in the oven.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. It's
Sorry, I got a torn shoulder. I keep messing with
it's
it.
fine. Oh, so maybe you're playing sports or something?
No, I was when I was 18. I ripped both my shoulders working out. Just
Ah,
I put too much weight on. It was stupid of me.
yeah. You also have that, I think, when you're playing tennis. I think they have that
This is
kind of
different because I was
shoulder.
practicing Hanga. You know how when you practice staff,
Mhm.
like martial arts staff,
Okay.
and some people weight their staffs so they could, you know,
Yeah.
I was doing it properly for amount of time, but then I put about 15 pounds too much on top of it. So I went like this, rip into all
Ah,
back here.
ouch.
And then
Yeah.
I went like this and rip
Rip
back
there.
there. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
my own fault.
Yeah. So
Reminds me
you
I'm
can't do that again, or you're just healing it up for a period of time.
I would have to get surgery because once the shoulders heal up, they always in the way shoulders muscles work, they heal up, they normally heal wrong.
Uh
So before they even do surgery on your shoulders, they got to rip the muscle again and then do surgery.
oh,
So it's just one
okay.
of those situations. I just live with it, but
You need a surgery. Okay.
there's
So,
nothing I'm worried
man,
about.
that's painful. Okay.
I've had it
So,
since I'm 18. I'm getting up there. I ain't worried about it, man.
oh yeah, you still have many years to heal. Or yeah. So, this one is raging slime.
Yes. It ended up getting into a power plant.
I believe these are snakes, right?
No,
Or
it's not a
what's
power
this?
plant. Those are electrical lines.
Oh, okay. I thought it's like the snake with the stripes.
Did it? No.
Okay, so it went to the power plant to attack the power plant or to get energy.
It's just eating anything it can.
Ah,
It's a
okay.
slime. It
So
doesn't
it's just
understand like me or
so
you.
that's why it makes sense, raging. So it's not
Yes.
anything. So it's a slime. All right. Then we have, oh, I separated all the, wait. These are the unique
Yeah,
conjurer.
yes.
Okay, so these are the cards. Okay. So maybe we can do this in a separate uh
Yeah,
video.
that'll be good.
We're gonna finish all of these decks first.
If you would, you could take the Shanty Dragon and you could put it with that because it
Oh
also
yeah,
has
and this one as well, right?
the no, just the Ashanti Dragon. Because the top card it is Flame of Ashanti and it relates to it.
Ah, okay. There. Okay, let's go to the shadow deck. A
Yes.
shadow attribute. And what's
Shadow
this?
spells.
What's this? Okay.
They're essentially scavengers. So they're going around and they're just grabbing whatever they can.
Mhm.
That was the character that was not created by me. Is one of the few that wasn't. And That was an inspiration on the artist side, and he just drew that, and I built lore around it.
Okay.
So
So
I have no idea where I will put them yet, but far as I can gather, they're scavengers, and you don't need to point out the irony of what other character they might actually look a little bit like. And I do not know where his inspiration came from. He said it wasn't from there, so I'm not worried on that end since it wasn't. But
or maybe this scavenge of electronics or mechanical
I
things.
was thinking of anything like they're homeless,
All right. So they might be ending
like
up with the
thieves.
chicken.
No, the
Chicken
chicken,
has mechanical, like robotic chicken, right?
that is a completely different
No?
story.
Okay.
It's a completely different story, brother.
All right. So let's put it in the void. So, so somewhere a reserve card.
Yes.
So yeah, so now it's Albatross's pecker.
Yes, that is a literary play on words as far as a bird, because a bird has its own pecker.
Yeah.
So that obviously is going to be a bonus card that will be in the token set that was from the variants,
Yeah.
and that will be adding on to the slime creature's support.
Ah, so it goes to the slime,
Yes,
but it's a shadow attribute. Okay, so now it's we have a bloodlust.
yes. Bloodlust follows a main character and a secondary character.
Yeah.
The secondary character is the one being killed off.
Uh,
I don't think I've released any main characters yet that have been killed off that quickly.
and what's the name of this guy with the stripe, red and white?
Joker with an A.
Oh yeah, Joko. Yeah. Okay. And it says
But
here,
yeah, he was in that other card and he was sitting on a tree
yeah,
and he was waving flags.
and he was
Watching the
watching
battle.
someone was chased by slime, right?
Yes. He
Uh-huh.
was watching him
Yeah.
being chased by slime, and then he was watching him being eaten by slime. And then essentially, I don't know what that text specifically says, but the other text on the original art card more or less references how he takes pleasure over taking
Yeah.
his life over the slime taking his life.
Ah.
So
So,
he was able to kill him first, essentially, and he took pleasure over that.
yeah.
It's a game.
And is this like a text font?
That's
Another font?
shadow. That's the attribute again.
Oh, there
How,
you go. Oh yeah.
yeah,
They're the same.
that is shadow. You have hay,
Ah,
and then you
got it.
have the hay is I forget exactly what hay stands for. The other one is yay, I think, but it stands for a hand or something being brought together. But it stands for shadow when it's
Okay.
literally translated.
Yep. All
Something
right.
that's dark.
All right. So it goes to the slime, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I sacrifice the lad to the slime. So theft. Oh, so it makes sense. Oh, this one is is this intentional that you put it in sideways?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So what is this one?
Theft is inspired by Japanese lore. Japanese history has lore that there are certain jars that a demon would hide in. So
Ah, okay.
the idea with their lore is that if you release that demon by going into the jar, there will be a detriment or a blessing unto you, one of the two. So essentially, with my lore being it's based on the concept of the taint of blood, similar like Cain and Abel, that the blood taints something and it makes it foul, that this man did something that is wrong or something that is foul, which here would be theft. So he committed theft somewhere where there was the tainted blood and it bit his arm off. because of it and consumed him completely.
Oh, so you mean the step is already have the tainted blood, right? Or and then when you open the jar, it's either
He did
it's
it in a place there. He did it somewhere that was tainted with blood, like
yeah,
evil blood, something that is sick, like sick blood. He did it in an area like that,
yeah.
somewhere where something foul has occurred or something that is not good has occurred. He committed the theft there, so he made himself more vulnerable to being tortured by those demons.
Okay. Yeah, got it. And this one goes to where? Which deck?
That would be, excuse me, the blood deck.
Blood deck. So now that would be
Revenge.
confusing to some of the players, or how do you know that it goes to the deck? If
It
it
would be in the blood deck when you buy it.
all right. So guys, it will be in the blood deck list. So don't worry. So I'm just where is it? The blood I hear. Yeah, there you go. Now it's why is it a different font there?
Just to make emphasis on the name.
Okay. It's a
Uh,
oh man. I thought it's letter T. It's
nope,
letter F. Don't say it. Just
I'm
say
not. That is Old English. That is
oh,
act. It means what you think it means, but it is Old English. It is a workaround because it is the Old English version of that word. So nowadays, someone looks at it, they'll say, "Oh, it's like Meet the Fockers."
oh yeah, yeah, correct.
So he's essentially Mr. Fokker is alone. So I mean,
Okay, get
not
it.
pronouncing it properly, but
Mm-hmm.
you get the drift.
Mm-hmm.
But that is Old English to work around in a literary sense without giving or divulging where someone that is younger would, pertain to it.
Yeah. So now this one is I assume that is attacking the kid, right?
Yeah,
The slime. I think this is slime, right? Blood
yeah.
tainted slime. All right,
No,
I got it now.
essentially, the blood creatures, whenever they take over a place, you'll see a bunch of molten flesh,
Mm,
and it'll be very gruesome.
uh-huh.
So, whenever they control a place, it'll be very hellish, to say the least. So, he is king alone.
Yeah. Ken alone. Ken alone. Okay. So we have here the overgrowth, and I assume this one is a slime as well.
No, that
Attacking.
was
Oh
going
no.
toward the artwork itself is looking towards a plant deck. And that is
Ah,
going to be in the variant set for the tokens. I
yeah.
don't remember the effect on it at the moment, but I believe it deals with plants or at least some sort of the way.
So
I'm
I
not
can
sure.
see what I can see here in the drawing is that is a dead plant and it's growing.
It's growing through a dead person's body.
What?
Yes.
I thought
You see
it's
that's
just
a
a
hand.
tree. Oh, it's a
No, that's a
hand.
hand.
Ah, yeah. If you do this, looks like the hand. Yeah. Ah,
Yes.
yeah. And but like this, it's like a bark of a tree or something,
Yeah.
or log.
It's a dead
Yeah.
person.
Oh man, that's gruesome, man. Okay, so this goes to the plant. Yeah, there. Um, so okay, I have a question. Because some of these ones have the attack and defense, and this one doesn't have one. So
That's
what
a
are
spell.
this called? This kind
That's
of
a shadow spell.
shadow spell. Okay, get it.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a shadow spell in the plant deck, and here.
Futile. That is the same guy that Joker was killing. So essentially, this is a part where he started fighting off the slime creature.
What was his name?
He doesn't have a name.
Okay. So this one he's still alive.
Yes.
Okay.
He's
And
essentially a young kid His father was out of the city. All the men were out of the city, and he went out to protect his family after he saw they were attacking the slime. And he's trying to fight off against it so he could save his mother and he could save his siblings. But obviously, as you can see, it does nothing. It's futile.
Mm.
His efforts are fruitless.
And it says here bluff. So this is a bluff card,
Yes.
shadow card. Okay. So it goes to
Bluffs are a type of spell, but you set them to the creature zone as if they are a creature face down.
yeah. So you the opponent will never know what kind of bluff is that, right? So
Yes. They will not
this
know
one
what's
goes to the slime, I guess.
Yes, it's in the slime
Because
deck.
this one is a slime, right? Not
Yes, it's in the
plant.
slime deck.
All right. So slime deck there. All right. So guys, go to part 3 of this video because we're gonna continue on the other cards.